Hello everybody and welcome or welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Alethea. Now, we are heading towards Thanksgiving. This is November and we're heading full-blown fast speed towards Thanksgiving. And many of us are thinking about what we're going to make and how we're going to make it and all that. So I decided that this year, I did this one time before a couple years ago, but this year I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do a Thanksgiving prep a few days before Thanksgiving to show you guys each day what leading up to Thanksgiving, and the final presentation is going to be on Thanksgiving. But each day leading up to Thanksgiving, about a week before, I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do, what I'm making, how I'm going to prepare it for Thanksgiving. Okay, so you're in treat for some videos on that process. But today I wanted to come, it's a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving right now, and I wanted to come on, I wanted to show you guys, this year I'm going to be making two different types of dressing or stuffing. And today I wanted to show you guys one of my stuffings that I'm going to make. It's new this year for us and for me, so I wanted to try it out before I prepare it. So I'm going to be making this today for my family. This is like a vegetable type stuffing. It's a traditional stuffing, so don't freak out. It's a traditional stuffing, but I'm adding some more vegetables in it. So I have my pot on my stove right now heating up. I'm going to move it off a little bit so we don't have a fire. We don't want a fire in here. And I'm going to show you guys the ingredients that I'm going to be using in this stuffing, which are I'm using mushrooms, and I'm using celery, and I'm using a mixture that has red onion, yellow onion, my mixed peppers. It has a little bit of apple in it. Yes, I said apple, a little bit of apple in it, and it has a little bit of sweet potatoes in it also. So I'm using that in it, and I have some cornbread, the traditional cornbread that I went ahead and made up in the oven, and I crumbled it when it was done and put it in a bowl, a mixing bowl. So I have this here mixed up with some bagged chicken flavored stuffing. Okay, so that's mixed in with that. You see that there. And the vegetables, I'm getting ready to show you what I just told you. The seasonings that I have that I'm going to put in, that I usually normally mix up with my stuffing, is poultry seasoning, sage, Italian seasoning, rosemary, adobo, garlic powder, onion powder. I also use a can of cream of chicken soup, and I use some chicken broth. So that's a lot going into this stuffing, okay? These are the ingredients that I just explained to you, okay? Right here is the cornbread, baked cornbread crumbled up, mixed in with a bag of the chicken flavored stuffing, okay, that's in that bowl. Everything is going to go into this bowl. We have the vegetables here, which are the main ingredient that I was telling you about: the mushrooms, the peppers, the apples, the sweet potatoes, the mixed peppers, all that good stuff in here, onions, all that good stuff in here. Chicken broth, my traditional seasonings here, and also the cream of chicken soup. Now, what I'm going to do also is I have some baby Bella mushrooms. I took out the stems of the baby Bella mushrooms, rinsed them off very well. All right, and once I make my stuffing mix, I'm going to put a little bit of stuffing into each one of these baby Bella mushrooms and bake it on the side of my stuffing in the pan there. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to switch you guys back around, so hold on. All right, now, so we're turned back around, and we're going to get ready to get started. So let's begin. Let me put my tripod down here. All right, move my pan over here, and we're going to put in our, I don't know if you can see my stove well, but we're going to do the best we can. We're going to put in the vegetables here. All right, all the vegetables is going into our pan. All right, now when you're cooking up your vegetables for your stuffing, let me put the light on. thought it would be better without the light because it's daytime, but it's not. So it's okay. When you're cooking up your vegetables or sauteing your vegetables for your stuffing, I'm sauteing them in a little bit of oil. Like I said, canola oil is what I use in my pot, in the hot pot. You don't want to fry them. You don't want to fry the mess out of them, because when you're making it, when it's going to bake in the oven, it's going to become soft anyway. So you want them al dente. All right, you kind of want to sweat them out a little bit. So once that's about done, which is about maybe a couple of minutes, okay? Then we're going to add all that into our bowl here with the cornbread and stuffing mix. All right, and then we're going to start putting in the other ingredients which I've mentioned before. So I'm going to take the lids off of this so that we will be ready for this process here. How are you guys doing today? We've been having some very mild weather here where we live. So that's unusual for this time of year. Usually right after Halloween, when November comes in, it's like chilly willy. I'm taking all the lids off of this here. I tell you one thing, it's November and I know we're going to Thanksgiving, but I'm ready to decorate for Christmas. I love Christmas. Love, love, love Christmas. I love to decorate for Christmas. I love to cook and bake for Christmas. It brings back a lot of memories for me growing up with my mom and dad and all my family members that would come over to Grandma and Grandpa's house. So, and like I said, that's why I continue with it with my family, because, you know, I like for my kids and grandkids to come over during the holiday times. It brings joy to us, joy to the house and all that. So I look forward to those times. It's tiresome, you know, when you're cooking for a large group, whatever. It is tiresome, but if you, like I said, if you do your prep work days before, when that day comes, you know, you'll have a little bit more energy to enjoy everything, to sit back and enjoy everything. And like for Thanksgiving, like I said, you can start your prep work for Thanksgiving as early as now. The beginning of November, really, right now. So you can really start it now. Like the stuffing, you can make your stuffing, but don't cook it. Just put it in a Ziploc bag. Once you assemble all the ingredients together, your stuffing mix, put it all in the Ziploc bag. 1 or 2 bags, depending on the size, with, you know, how much you're making, and put it in the freezer. And then when the day comes, like the day before Thanksgiving or that day, just take it out, let it defrost, put it in your pan, and bake it in the oven. And there you go. You know, that's one dish down. Or your greens, if you're making greens, collard greens, whatever, make your collard greens. You can make them now, really. Cook them up real good, let them cool off. Do the same process. Put them in a Ziploc bag and put them there in your freezer. The day before Thanksgiving or the day of, take them out. You know, let them defrost. Put them in your pot and let them, you know, cook down, simmer and all, and they will be extra delicious, because all those ingredients that you use to cook in your collard greens will have time to marinate, and boy, it's like the day after Thanksgiving, it'll have that good taste, you know. So, you know, it doesn't hurt to start now, really, even with your desserts, your pies, sweet potato pies. Matter of fact, this weekend, I'm going to be making the mixture for my sweet potato pies, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make that mixture of the sweet potato pie. I'm going to put it in a Ziploc bag, plop it, probably 2, I'm making 2 pies, 2 sweet potato pies. Put that mixture in the freezer the day before Thanksgiving or the day of. Just take it out in the morning, let it defrost, put it in my pie shell, put it in the oven, and call it a day. And there you know, that's another dish down. You know, so if you do that, if you start a week before or a few days before Thanksgiving, then when Thanksgiving comes, you won't be looking like you've been up all night or 2. you know. So just give it a try. You know, don't let the holiday time overwhelm you. Take it day by day, step by step. Do your preparation work. And you'll be surprised. You're like, wow, I have enough energy here to enjoy this. So anyway, as I was just jibber-jabbering on, my vegetables are done. That only took like a couple of minutes. Okay, and they just like, they sweat. They have a little sweat on them. So they're not mush. I'm going to add this, like I said, into my bowl here with the cornbread mixture. Like I said, this is my first time making this. I thought about this and I was like, let me try this out. I like to try on new dishes for me and my family. Sometimes they're successful, and believe it or not, sometimes they're flops. So, but that's how you know, don't be afraid to experiment. Like I always said, you never know. You'll be surprised what you can come across. Okay, so it's looking like this, if you can see it. That's how it's looking so far. All right, so let me start with some sage. I have some sage here. Just going to sprinkle some sage in here. I don't have measurements when I do my seasonings. I just dash and eyeball it. So sorry about that. I know a lot of people have measurements, but as you cook more and more, you'll begin to like okay, a little dab will do you here, and maybe a little bit more dab, stuff like that. All right, so that was the poultry and the sage in here. Mixing this up, and if you're not measuring, you can begin to look and see how your stuffing is turning out, and you can begin to smell it also, because those seasonings will begin to perk through. All right, so we're done with that. We're going to do Italian. A little Italian seasoning. This is my version of a little. Okay, this is making a lot of stuffing, I tell you. All right, I'm going to use rosemary. I'm going to use just a few dashes of that. Some of this stuff will make you sneeze. All right, so I have adobo here. Using a little adobo. Garlic powder and onion powder. Onion powder. All right, and a little bit more of the garlic here. And that's it. I'm going to mix this up, and then I'm going to add in my cream of chicken soup, because it gives it like a creamier texture when I do that. All right, here's my cream of chicken soup. 1 can of that. I guess I'm going to confuse my family. They're going to be like, hey, wait, Thanksgiving's not here yet. Because I really don't make this stuff all year long, only but like Christmas and Thanksgiving. So, right, did that. Now we're going to mix this up. It's getting a little harder to mix now, so I'm going to be adding in my chicken broth right here. I have reduced sodium chicken broth. Now you can use vegetable broth too. You know, if you're like completely vegan and don't eat a lot of eat no meat or whatever. But I'm using chicken broth this time. Mixing this up. Once this is all mixed up, I'm going to put this in a pan, my square baking pan. Put it in the oven on 350 for about 30 minutes, but I'm going to check it, you know, halfway through I'm going to check it and see how it's going. You can put foil over it if you want, or you can do it, bake it without the foil. I probably use foil this time, only because that's coming up really good and creamy. Now this is how I was raised. My mom, she made her dressing. She made all kinds of dressing, really. She made cornbread dressing, homemade cornbread dressing. She would make oyster dressing with oysters in there, and she made all kinds of dressings. I tell you, it was just delicious. Everybody loved coming to Grandmom's house and just feasting. So, this is how, let me do a little bit more. Some people like their dressing soupy. I don't understand. I guess it's to each his own. But this is about how I like my dressing. Let me show you. Hold on. Still creating here. I think because your bread mixture here, cornbread and the other stuffing bread, absorbs a lot of moisture, so it seems like a lot of liquid is going in here, but it absorbs it and then it dries it out, like, you know. But anyway, this is how my dressing is looking. Let me turn you guys around so you can see. Hold on. Alright, and then after that I'm going to put it in the oven like I said. But before I do that, I want to show you guys, I'm going to stuff some of these mushrooms. And then put this in the pan, and then put the mushrooms on the side, inside the pan on the side, and let it just cook together. So just hold on. Alright everybody, and as promised, we're back with the final presentation of our vegetable type stuffing and our stuffed mushrooms, our stuffed Bella mushrooms. And this could be an appetizer. The mushrooms can be an appetizer for one of your appetizers for your Thanksgiving feast. And like I said, this is one of the two stuffings that I will be having for our part of our Thanksgiving feast. All right. And like I said, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, Cooking with Alethea. I will be back next time with you for another episode and another comfort food dish for fall. All right, have a good week, everybody. See you later.